Hello everyone and welcome to the 10th and final round of the GSC100% Championship by RCL. I am Matt and we've got a championship to decide today. It is between Ovey and Ellis. Ovey's got a very slim chance. He needs to score 11 more points than what Ellis does at this round, and Ellis started off by putting the car on pole to help him secure the championship, as this is the third longest track on the calendar if we include the Nordschleife, which we'll be going to on the 2nd of November for a non-championship race. So first corner, tricky to get right on your own, let alone at the start of a race when there's various different cars around you. Out there easy enough, and then it's down the straight we go as we brake for a right hand corner, which is a fairly tricky one as well. I've heard it's quite bumpy there, but it's a long time since I've driven the track, so that could be wrong. And then we've got this sequence of corners where we go into a double left-hander which tightens into a hairpin on the second part of it. Out of there and through a quick chicane left to right at what is going to be 5th gear, 4th into the second part. And out there and into the final corner, which is a very long sweeping right-hander. Take that in 3rd gear. And on to the start-finish straight we come, and that was a 1 minute 18.9 from Ellis to secure the pole position. Ovey picked up 2nd, and then it was Gary Kemp in 3rd, James Reed was 4th, and Askoff was 5th, Jurasek was 6th, Kramer was 7th, Matt Bai was in 8th place. Hamilton started from the pit lane in 9th, Sim Steele was 10th, 11th was Herrera, he also started from the pit lane, and Andrew Jones was 12th. So as we come round to the start then, Hamilton left the pit lane too early and got disqualified, ending his chances of getting a better race than what he had in Velo Park, and we are underway. Ellis is already being swamped into turn 1, he's got Ovey going around him, he's got Kemp and Askoff. James Reed is also trying to get around there as well. Can we get through here safely? We had a bit of an accident into turn 1 last season, but it looks like everyone's made it through. So Ovey will lead the way from Kemp and Reed. Ellis is down to 4th, and then it's 5th for Kramer, 6th is Jurasek, Jones is 7th, Matt Bai is 8th, Sim Steele is 9th, and Herrera is in 10th, recovering from the pit lane start. On board with Ellis as we come into turn 3. Brakes locked up ahead of us. Kemp is already trying to get past Ovey up ahead, and Ellis has got to find a way past Reed. Askoff's dropped down some places there, looks like he's had an off at some point. Back to the leaders then. Ovey looks like he could be about to lead us round to finish lap 1. Ellis is looking at Reed in the background there. Through the chicane. And into the final corner we come then. So it'll be Ovey, Kemp, Reed, Ellis, Kramer, Askoff, Jones, Bai, Jurasek and Steele to round us out for lap 1. Herrera's back there after his pit lane start, of course. On board with Ellis as we come down the start-finish straight. Ellis using push to pass by the looks of things, because he's gaining on Reed at a rapid rate here. Can he try around the outside into turn 1? This will be brave if he does. And he doesn't quite manage to get the job done. Almost makes contact with Reed in the middle of the corner. Can he get a better exit as we come down the straight into turn 3? No, we're not going to get to see that because we're looking at Askoff catching Jones, I think. No, it's Kramer at a rapid rate. Into turn 1 we go. Has Kramer seen Askoff? No, he hasn't. Kramer just turns in on Askoff there, and Kramer misses the chicane. Jurek's done the same in the background, and Kramer's gone and spun it, trying to rejoin the track as well. That's going to drop Kramer down quite a few places. So we avoided the lap 1 chaos, and instead it's all happening on lap 2 as we're on board with Matt Bai. It looks like he's chasing down Andrew Jones as we come into the chicane. In the slipstream we go. Looks like Bai is going to try for the outside line. Jones is defending the inside. Oh, Jones is very sideways. Matt Bai makes a bit of contact with him. Misses the second part of the chicane. Steele, can he get through there? No, he can't. Makes contact with Jurasek because he's rejoining the track though. And Jones doesn't lose the place to Bai in the end. So back at the front then, Ovey coming up to turn 3 and he spun. Ovey spins out of the lead. not what he wanted if he's going to try and win this championship. And Reed's around as well. Ellis looks like he could have made contact with Reed there. Ovey rejoins in second, Ellis third, Askov fourth, Reed down to 7th or so now I think. Into turn 3, Ellis, oh it's very slight contact for Reed, but it was just enough to send Reed into a spin. Very hard to tell if there even was any contact. It looked like there could have been. This was Askov, you just managing to avoid the chaos and promoting himself up into 4th. Reed dropping behind Kramer, no it's Jones actually, and Matt by the looks of things. Askov trying to get around the outside of Ellis into turn 5. And it looks like he could have got the job done. Yes he does. Good move by Askov to get around the outside there as James Reed is coming down the inside of Matt by here. Will he try into the chicane? Not sure if he does get that move made. Ovey's made a mistake up ahead. This could be Askov into second now. Can he get it down the inside into the final corner? It looks like he has done. So Askov moves up into second, Ovey third, Ellis 4th. Ovey struggling after that spin by the looks of things, losing a couple of places now. As here comes Ovey back at Askov. Into turn 1 they go. He could be picking up second away from Askov straight away, and yes he does. Does he manage to get it slowed down? Yes he does. Askov will be looking to get a better exit as we come up the straight for turn 3. He'll be looking to get in the slipstream. He's a bit too far back at the minute though. Although he's gaining and gaining, and there's a gap on the inside. Can he make that move stick, or will Ovey manage to stay around the outside to pick that place up? Ovey's very wide and on the grass. Looking at Ellis' view of this, he's got a good view of it, ready to pick the pieces up should anything go wrong between these two. Ovey with the brakes locked up a tad there, he's easy to do in that corner. But there's no position changes just yet, and Askov holds on to second. This is James Reed, just a lap ago. Coming up to the final corner, getting Jones on the inside. Jones almost making contact as that gap decreased. This is Matt by now. He is just behind those two, and he spins off in the background behind them. Into the wall he goes. Gets on the power and rejoins the track as Kramer comes past, not really giving Matt by much space to rejoin there. So a lap after all that chaos, and Ovey trying to get past Askov. He's outbraked himself and gone sailing down the inside. He's going to miss that, and Ellis is going to pick that place up now surely. Ellis does pick the place up, so Ellis up into third, Ovey down into 4th. Can he challenge Ellis as we come into turn 3? No we can't, so Ovey 4th at the minute then. And he doesn't want to be behind Ellis because that's not where his championship's going to go. Just coming up to turn 5 now. Headlights ablaze. Ellis is looking to the inside of Askov here. There's going to be a bit of contact on the exit. Somehow they avoid anything major. Just a couple of doors banging there. Ellis now having a run round the outside of the final corner. Can he get it down the outside of the first corner? Askov is defending that inside line pretty heavily. Ellis might be too far back here, you know. Askov is doing a good job of staying ahead, but Askov's got the brakes locked up. He's a bit deep, but he stays in second. Can Ellis have a run down the straight into turn 3 though? It looks like he's got a pretty good exit coming out of turn 2. Here we go, coming up to turn 3 then. Ellis looking to the inside, brakes a tad later than Askov. There's a bit of a gap. Is there enough of one? No, there's not. Ellis backs out of that one. Askov stays in second. As we're on board with Ovey now, just watching that battle. And that's not good from Ovey. Ovey's on fire. Ovey is on fire and out of this race. That means Ellis will be the champion for season 2 of the GSC Championship. Ovey's chances have gone up in smoke, much like his car. Sounded like the gearbox had a complete failure as it shifted down into neutral there as he was making his way up through the gears. Back with Ellis and Askov then. Askov has got it pretty deep into the final turn. This is going to give Ellis a good run out the exit and down the start finish straight. He'll be looking to the inside for turn 1. Is he far enough alongside to do so though? I think he could well be as we come into the braking zone. Although Askoff brakes a bit later, manages to stay ahead. There's a bit of a gap, but not enough. Askoff doing a good job at keeping Ellis behind him at the minute. Can Ellis challenge into turn 3 though? It looks like he's got a fairly decent exit out of turn 2. I don't think he's going to be far enough alongside, but he does pull out to the inside. Is there enough of a gap? No, there's not. Ellis still in third, still looking to get past Askoff. Kemp is already 10 seconds down the road by this point and pulling out that gap by a considerable margin. Oh, there's a gap now, surely into the hairpin at turn 5. Ellis makes slight contact with Askoff and has to hit the brakes to avoid going round, and that costs him a bit of time on Askoff, giving Askoff a bit of breathing space. Andrew Jones is off track at the minute. That's quite a way. That's going to be in the wall as well. Does he manage to continue? Yes, he does. We're going to lose a place. Yes, we lose a place to Kramer. So Jones dropping a couple of places there then. On board with Matt Pye. Jones is just recovering from that incident. Into turn 5 we go. Jones is a bit wide. Matt Pye is a bit wide as well. Slight contact. Matt Pye gives Jones a nudge, but it's enough to send Jones off track there. Ellis has caught back up to Askoff now as we come down the start finish straight. This could be Ellis' best chance yet. He's got a good slipstream as we come into the braking zone. Askoff's already on the inside, but I think Ellis is going to get right round the outside here, and yes, he does get the move made up into second goes Ellis then. He's just got Kemp 10 seconds down the road now. Askoff running a bit wide there. Jones is coming into turn 1, and it looks like he's going off the track as well, over the sleeping policeman and up in the air for Jones. He's on board with Matt Pye, just coming up to turn 3, and he's done what Jones did a previous lap. As Matt Pye is going to avoid the wall, just manages to stay out of there. Jones coming around the cut. Whoa, Jones, what is he doing there? Just turning in on Matt Pye there. Clearly not happy with something. Matt Pye coming up into turn 5, gives Jones a nudge. And another nudge, and round goes Jones. Both of those drivers picking up a warning for some very steady driving there. Oh, Steele's gone and lost it in the final corner. Kramer just avoids him. That could have been a pretty big accident if they'd made contact there. Matt Pye recovering from his off. Makes a bit of contact with Steele under braking in turn 5, but nothing too major. Doesn't want to be taking out his teammate, of course. Does he manage to make the move coming into turn 1 now then? He's got himself alongside Steele, but is it far enough alongside? Into the braking zone we go. You remember last season Steele made a pass around the outside on turn 1 on Nigel Lee, I think it was, but he is not doing the same this season, and he's just lost that place to Matt Pye. Steele, whoa, he's gone very wide in that final corner, got the brakes all locked up. In the wall he goes. Does he manage to continue? Looks like he does, so he rejoins the track, losing a lot of time to Matt Pye there. Adrian Herrera. He's not had the best of races this season after his pit lane start, and it gets a bit worse because he's got on the curb on the inside of the final corner, and into the pit wall he goes, reverses out of there and back on his way. James Reed, he is currently in third at the minute, and he's just got over the top of the policeman. Around he goes in the gravel trap. Can he get out of here? Because that isn't an ideal place to be stopping. He's got traction. He's got Jurasek and Askoff behind him somewhere. Oh, he's made a hash of rejoining as well. He's gone half spun as he does that. So Reed rejoins then just before his second stop. Matt Pye has caught Kramer through the pit stop phases as well. Makes contact with Kramer. Kramer manages to hold on to that somehow. That was good driving by Kramer to keep that in the straight line and get round the corner. Matt Pye not able to pick the place up just yet. He's going to have to wait a while for that, although this could be his chance because Kramer's gone very deep and Matt Pye's followed him, but Matt Pye's managed to get it under control before Kramer did, and he picks that place up. Into 5th goes Matt Pye. Askoff is now chasing down what looks to be Matt Pye. In fact, no, that's him still. Askoff has picked up a drive-through penalty recently, so he's fighting his way back through the field. And down the inside into turn 1 he goes on Steele. Up into 7th for Askoff then. This is Dave Ellis just making his second stop, chasing down Kemp at the minute. There goes Kemp, who's gained quite a bit of time in this pit stop phase. Ellis has got 10 or so minutes left of this race to try and gain on Kemp, as he is running wide out of the chicane. Kemp has only just got himself ahead of Ellis on this lap because of the pit stops, and Kemp is going off now as well. This could be Ellis' chance to take the lead away from Kemp with just a couple of minutes remaining of this race, and he does so. Kemp's off track again as well, coming out the final corner. That's not what Kemp wanted. Kemp is now just about to have a go down the inside of turn 1. Can he make it stick? They're both wide. Ellis managed to stay around the outside of that corner though and stay in the lead. Can Kemp get the position back as we come down into turn 3? Ellis defending the inside. Kemp is going to have to go the long way round if he wants this lead back from Ellis, but he doesn't manage to do it there. Out the corner we come. I don't think it's going to be enough for Kemp at the minute. He's going to have to wait until the first corner again, I think, because there's not really any passing places left now, and I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move in the final corner either. So back into turn 1 we go. Kemp pulls out from a long way back. He's going to make contact. No, he doesn't make contact. Somehow avoids him across the second part of the chicane, and that's going to have cost him a lot of time, and that could have cost him the race, and indeed it did. Ellis took the victory from Kemp. James Reed picked up yet another podium. He's having a good run of races at the minute to finish off the season. 4th went to Jurasek. In the end, he picked up another good haul of points after starting the season halfway through. Matt Bai picked up his best ever finish in RCL, or at least this season, with a 5th place. Kramer came home in 6th, just beating Matt Bai by 1 point in the championship. Askoff was 7th, and it was Sim Steele coming home in 8th. So that is that then, and Ellis even is your champion for season 2 of RCL. Ovey was 2nd after a couple of drop points, Larson 3rd, and James Reed was 4th, Kemp 4th even, a couple of points ahead of James Reed. Nigel is 6th after missing the last couple of races, Steele 7th, and Jurasek was 8th. And that was it for season 2. We shall see you in season 3 at some point next year, but we've got the Ring 100 coming up in the 2nd of November.